I'm recording, James, for the record. You're not supposed to reveal the magician's tricks, you know? Twilly don't mind, baby. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But your mind wasn't just like going, like sort of building a tablature of how the good. 100%. I mean, that's an if you know kind of song, I feel like. Looking for the magic. Hey, Max, wouldn't you agree? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When the Shilohs were on tour with Real Estate, I remember it. You know, back then it was really, that was what, 2014 or something. It was really if you know, you know then, and them being like, you guys should do a cover of Looking for the Magic. It would rip, and I was like, there's no way I can't do that. That's too good a song. It's yeah. Oh yeah, funny title though, isn't it? Twilly don't mind. Yeah, it's cool. Um, it is funny, Max. That's okay. Before we like get into your album and all that, but that's the first question because there's a part on the record that is the looking for the magic vocal effect thing. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn to like reveal that. Did you guys like actually like deep dive it and be like, what is going on there, and let's do that, or like, yeah, right. I never knew that. So there's no effect on it. It's he's just doing it. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Buddy Holly, maybe even. Crimson and Clover's definitely an effect, though. Like his voice. Yeah. 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 I always thought Looking for the Magic was just a slow tremolo on his voice, kind of. But I've never read up on the topic. Yeah, maybe. It's I have a funny Dwight Twilley story for you guys. Actually, I don't want to tell it like and make it like a joke because the man we lost the man was last year or the year before. But there was a moment, speaking of Tommy James too, you might like this, Mac. There was a moment maybe 10 years ago that my friend was a filmmaker in New York, and I pitched this idea to him to make a documentary and called The Twilight Tour or something. We had a title for it, but about all of these guys. There was still a moment who were still out on the road doing like the casino circuit and like these kinds of things, but they still sounded really good. They were like in the well, Twilly was one of the names that I had because I was a huge fan of his at the time, and I was like, and I saw he was still playing shows. Well, it was like, yeah, so must have been around then, and also it was like a Chilton thing, like because Chilton famously did the nostalgia circuit for years, doing box tops tunes and stuff, right? Like, and people were like, "Why are you doing this? You were in Big Star. You're so much better than this." And Chilton was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm having the best time of my life just partying with like Question Mark and the Mysterians." Like after the show and stuff like that. Like I do two songs and then I get paid and then I hang out. And but anyway, so I was fascinated by this and I told my friend who knows nothing about any of these musicians, and he was like, "Well, I'll use my sort of journalistic pull to reach out to some of these people." And he reached out to Dwight Twilley, Tommy James, and both of them got back to him. And Tommy James sent a limo to his apartment and picked him up and brought him out to his house, and they did like hung out all afternoon, which made me extremely jealous because my friend Andy didn't even know who he was, you know. And he was like, "Yeah, really nice guy, you know." Like, oh, I still am kind of bitter about this, but Twilly and his wife were super into the idea of this documentary, obviously, because like I'm sure, you know, money was maybe and like just getting his name back in. But needless to say, the documentary didn't happen, and my friend Andy was hearing from them for a long time afterwards about it. And it would be really funny because his phone would just wake up in the morning and it would kind of be like, "Hey, Andy, like we're just having coffee. I thought we'd say hi," kind of thing. And it was a little bit like, yeah. That checks out though, even like with my story. Like I think she's an intense person. No. What? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, forget about it. What are you doing in your car, Max? Oh yeah. Yeah. What's wrong with it? Yeah. What kind of amp do you use? Oh yeah. I would say that's probably the most popular amp on the go right now amongst indie rockers. Oh wow, nice dude. You made it. Signature. Signature. Do you Stained maybe like a signature from that band Stained Fender. Yeah. Do you guys know anyone who doesn't play a Fender amp personally? Who's that? Yeah, like do you Yeah, how about you, Max? Yeah. Yeah. Boutique. Some people have boutique stuff, I feel like, yeah. Uh-huh. Mhm. Well, back then it was like yeah, I feel like back then it was probably 50-50 with like Orange, Marshall and Fender and stuff like yeah. Yeah. But I used to play a Music Man back in the Twilly days, but that's Fender, so it doesn't count. I know, it's the same. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Uh-oh. 5G, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Out in the world, New York City, towers pinging, things happening, it's like you want a controlled signal, really. Mhm. I know, but I was a bit shocked when he texted me and said I'm in my car cuz every time he's been on, I picture him in a cozy corner of his apartment. He let with a nice little cocktail. He seems very relaxed and in his own element. So I was like, I honestly I did a face that was like, "Wow, really?" in the car. Yeah. I'll just edit it or something. Yeah. And this is good stuff, but I'll just edit it out. It's no longer good. It was good for a second. No, now we're just talking about editing, so no. Yeah. 14 or something. I haven't tried auto align yet, but I've been really tempted to on the drums since you said that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. That's neat. The difference was that big, hey? Felt felt like that. Yeah. Yeah. He's back. I don't know about this sound quality. Wait, that's better. Say something, Max. Can't hear you, or I'm not sure what's going on. Now you're back. Check. Are you trying to go Bluetooth? Yeah. We're literally getting a front row seat to your ear there. Yeah. Huh. It was working though, just a second ago. Hmm. But you really the video? Oh, the video is gonna make it too hot. You mean right now? Do you want to let it cool off and start again in 10 minutes or something? Okay, but right. It'd be nice to see you, but what do you want to do? Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. Because it'd be nice to have the video if we can. We could also do it when you get home if you want, unless you have to record, James. Well, maybe I'll just text him and see if he wants to do it later. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just have a drink later and do it or something, you know? Hey, can we? Do you want to just do this when you get home later? We're pretty free later, and we could like have a drink and it's less stressful. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sounds good. All right. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we won't bring that back up again because that's what caused the problem. As if Fender has that kind of. Well, anyway, welcome back to the show, Max. This is probably your third or fourth time on the podcast, I think. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That is spooky. Yeah, we watched it. We did an episode with the Jokerman about it. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and think that you're probably gonna agree a little bit more with what we said, just based on me knowing that you're a big Beatles fan, and there was some stuff being thrown around that some kind of McCartney talk that, let's just say, was I had to kind of bite my lip a couple times, you know. Yeah, took a lot of restraint from me. No, as you know, Max, guys like us, it's kind of them's fighting words. You know what I mean? Yeah. um, but it's a good documentary, man. I think you'd like it for sure. He has a fascinating career, Paul McCartney, through the '70s. It's really a wild ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's good. It's better than the first side, that's for sure. Hmm. The East Coast catfish, right? There's two of them. Yeah. Okay. We both have. You've got an LP? What the fuck? Oh my god. Wow, that is lucky. That's nice. I got a Google Drive link, but at the same time, so I was glad to get the drive link. I believe this was maybe around the same time, hey James, when we were down there together. Um you were there before me, I think, staying with them, but I was lucky to have the link because I listened to the whole album at LAX waiting for my flight in a very fragile, like week long hangover kind of state of mind. And it was kind of the perfect way to hear it. And um, I was grateful to have it in that moment. But yeah, James and I have loved it for many months now. Mm-hmm. Um, I I, I don't really know where to begin, but I love the record so much, man. And I thought of one thing. I really only James is better than me at this, so I really only think of like one kind of journalistic question or thing to say. So I want to get it out of the way because I was listening to it running the other day, and it deeply resonated with me. I would say lyrically, and I hope this doesn't. Anyway, this is coming like from one to another when I ask you this, but like it feels like that the songs are like the songs of a sensitive soul when I listen to it, and like maybe somebody who's like been forced into a world that they don't understand or necessarily want to be a part of, and like it feels really lonely to me, like even in the titles, like Windows on the World, Shut In, Barfly, and like there's very few harmonies on it, like it's you by yourself a lot, and like you're sort of like this ghost walking around the city and like not recognizing things anymore and leaning hard on your partner. And these are things that I feel and think about all the time. And I guess my question is like, how much of this is you, and how much of it is like a reflection of how we're all feeling right now? Maybe. Mm-hmm. 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 No, but I mean, I know what you mean. Like, and that's yeah. I mean, I think about that a lot since the pandemic. And I've been to New York once since then, and I had a friend who lived there and is now moved who said it's just changing so much. And during COVID, you really saw that a lot of people who were truly isolated. And then I think about it now that they're still that way, and how lucky the three of us are to have partners like that to sort of share the weight of the load with all this stuff going on. And yeah, there's a lot of people out there who don't. So, hmm. For sure. Nine Inch Nails kind of the corn, that kind of stuff. Yeah. No, and I should clarify, like, when I said all that, like, that in the end though, the record, it's called Transmitter, and I do feel like you're transmitting like a message of hope, or that like we're not all alone, that we are human and living in this world. And it's like I don't leave being like fuck, like we're fucked or something like that. You know what I mean? It's not like that. Like, but you're just, yeah, you're just singing about what you're seeing. But how? So I guess the next natural question would be then, what about Tweedy's role? Like, how much of this was him being like, we got to keep it stripped down? Like, was he hands on in that way, or did you come in with that plan? Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice. Which one? Oh God, great tune. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not sure I know them really. Okay. Yeah, I remember the name. Remember the name. We didn't get Nickelodeon up here though. Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds like a good playlist. I'd like to listen to it. Maybe you could send it to us. It's funny you say that about the replacements. Like they have this quality, the replacements, about getting like really stuck on one song. It's funny you say that because I've had that a few times where like I remember swinging party being like I couldn't listen to anything else for like a month besides that song at one point. You know, they have these ones that just haunt you, and you have to keep listening to them. It's so great. Oh, I got to read that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Big Star. Yeah, It's funny you were gonna say that because that's where I was going. Was like what you said, James, got me thinking about the idea, and what you guys both said about like melody and like with sort of this, veil of whatever, not sadness or nastiness behind it, and how it's so appealing to listen to. And like with Chilton, Westerberg, it's almost like watching a car crash or something, that it's just this person who's a little bit of a mess singing these beautiful songs that just sort of barely make it onto the tape. And then Lennon, yeah. I was just going to say, and then it's kind of like Lennon sort of, if you look back, it's like maybe he was the first one that, even though you don't see that so much, you can feel it in the music that he's the same way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 I hear you. And James would know this firsthand, but like talk about strangling the sensitive side of yourself and being from northern England. And like so you talk like when you read about John in like the book I'm reading, this intense one about them when they're young, like he's just like fighting tooth and nail to keep up this tough guy image. And like even after his mom dies and everything, like he won't even wear his glasses because he's afraid it'll make him look vulnerable, even though he can't see anything. And yeah, so maybe for that reason, it's like he's pushing it down even further than anyone, and that's why it explodes out of him in such a beautiful way when he makes music. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. How how often do you think each day do you think about the moment when you met Paul McCartney? Yeah. Beatles would have been a funny question. Funnier. How often how many times we talk? How when you wake up in the morning, how long does it take before you think about the Beatles? Yeah. In my case, yeah. 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 Oh, Derek Taylor? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I'm the same. No. No. Yeah. DNA level kind of music. But I did hear you can't hide here though, Max, because we did hear that you were on tour recently and just listened to the Beatles the whole tour in the van. I think Noah told us that you kept playing Beatles, and then you guys were just like more beat. I don't know. What do you guys want to listen to? Just like maybe some more Beatles, and then you kept listening to Beatles. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Oh, right. That's cool. maybe never for me. Ha- Mhm. Interesting. Did you have a good? Sorry, it's a good question. Yeah, but they're already doing Beatles too. The computers. Oh yeah, we don't want to. But I mean, I've defined originality on this show many times before in music as like if you have a message, a lyrical message that's meaningful and personal to you, then to me the record is always original, and I think you're one of the best at that. So, like yeah. But certainly the lyrics must be a main, like a huge factor, because not to there, like there are melodies of yours or mine or anyone's that if you change the lyrics to be like ones from like a chocolate watch band album from the 60s or something, right away it would feel way more pastiche, you know? So it's got to be like 90% of the thing in some ways. Maybe not 90, but hmm. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I was laughing about your lyric. Um, I get tired all the time now. Feel like sleeping in the middle of the day. Can't remember my thoughts when they really count. So I just end up walking away. Being a good line about getting older. I feel like you talk a lot about that, like drinking through an hourglass and the acceleration of time. Have you been starting to feel getting older a little bit? Yeah, yeah, it's a real thing. Right. Doing music. Mm-hmm. Yeah. True. I'm sure we all have. Yeah. Well, sometimes you really rack your brain though, and you're like, I know that's something, and you have done your homework, and you're like going through your all your papers and everything, and you're like, I know it's there. What is it? And you're like, I guess I came up with it, and then like once the record's out, you're like, oh right, it was that or something. I've had that. Yeah. 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 Of course. Yeah. 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 Make the call. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. I love that. I love that. That's such a good take. Yeah. It's very true. Yeah. Yeah. It's my mom's birthday. No Vancouver though. No Vancouver. We were sad to see, but mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll come with you if you have a car. We can drive there. We could do it. Yeah. That's oh, right on. I'm gonna raid that fridge while you guys are on stage, buddy. You just wait. Yeah. Yeah. Every city in the world you can find yourself a chicken, buddy. You really can. I remember at the Vons in Echo Park by where Luke at Liberty Street where Luke lived, he used to know the time when the truck would bring in the chickens because it would smell up the whole street, and he'd be like, they're bringing the chickens in. So there are a lot of them there. That's just one store. Yeah. Just keep the band going. Yeah. You guys, I hate to cut this short because I could sit and talk to you both all day, but my daughter's been sick, and it's we're in the trenches over here, and I have to go down and help try to get her to sleep for a nap. Um, yeah, yeah, it's all good. But thank you so much for coming on, Max. Transmitter is the album. Go see him. And the band at a city near you, and always a pleasure. We'll have you back soon. All right, man. Take care, buddy.